Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is the video you've all been waiting for, and not in a good way if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. We've got a storm brewing deep in the heart of Texas, and it centers around none other than one of the brightest stars on the Cowboys roster, Micah Parsons. That's right, whispers are turning into full-blown rumors, and we are now hearing serious chatter that Micah Parsons might actually be considering a trade request out of Dallas. I know it sounds unbelievable, but there's way too much smoke here to ignore anymore. Something is definitely going on behind the scenes, and we're going to break down all the pieces, connect all the dots, and give you every single angle on this explosive situation. Let's start with where this storm really began to gather steam. All off-season, the talk around Dallas has focused on contract extensions, player development, and how the team plans to finally get over the hump and make a Super Bowl run. But in the middle of all this, there's been a notable shift in Micah Parsons' tone. From cryptic social media posts to visible frustration in interviews, fans have started to notice that the all-world linebacker doesn't seem quite as dialed in with the franchise as he used to be. And now, with sources close to the team hinting that he's grown increasingly disillusioned with the Cowboys' direction, the buzz about a possible trade request is reaching a fever pitch. Micah Parsons has never been the kind of player to bite his tongue. He's emotional, passionate, and incredibly driven, and that's part of what's made him such a dominant force on the field. But lately, that fire has seemed more like frustration. Earlier this summer, during an interview at a community event, Parsons was asked about his future with the team. Instead of giving the usual "I want to retire a Cowboy" line, he gave a more neutral, carefully worded response about taking things one day at a time. That raised a lot of eyebrows. Then came the now infamous post on X, formerly Twitter, where he said, "Sometimes loyalty gets taken for granted." That post sent shockwaves through the fanbase, and it's only gotten worse from there. Behind closed doors, sources around the league are saying that Parsons is unhappy with several things. First and foremost is the stalled progress on a contract extension. Parsons, who is due for a massive payday, has reportedly been left frustrated by the Cowboys' lack of urgency in locking him up long-term. He sees players around the league getting paid top dollar, and many believe he deserves to be one of the highest-paid defenders in NFL history. But the Cowboys, as always, are playing hardball. They're waiting things out, possibly until next offseason, which has clearly rubbed Micah the wrong way. Secondly, there's the issue of team performance and direction. Parsons wants to win now. He's made that clear time and time again. And while the Cowboys have been competitive, they've consistently fallen short in the postseason. Last year's meltdown against the Packers was another brutal chapter in a string of playoff disappointments. Parsons reportedly feels that not enough has been done to fix the glaring issues on this team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. With an aging quarterback in Dak Prescott and continued uncertainty at key positions, Parsons may be questioning whether Dallas is truly building a contender around him, or simply treading water. Then there's the locker room dynamic. While nothing is confirmed, there have been murmurs of internal tension, particularly between Parsons and some of the Cowboys' coaching staff. Dan Quinn's departure hit Micah hard. The two had a close bond, and now with a new defensive coordinator in the building, Parsons may be feeling like he's being pushed into a system that doesn't fully maximize his talents. Add to that his strong personality, and it's not hard to imagine some friction developing behind the scenes. We've seen superstar players fall out with coaching staffs before, and if things aren't clicking in training camp, that frustration could bubble over fast. Let's not forget the business side of things either. Micah Parsons is more than just a player, he's a brand. He's got media appearances, endorsement deals, and a growing national profile. He knows his value, and he's not afraid to use leverage. By even entertaining the idea of a trade request, Parsons is sending a loud message to Cowboys brass: take me seriously, or someone else will. And with teams like the New York Jets, Miami Dolphins, and Baltimore Ravens all reportedly monitoring the situation closely, There's no shortage of suitors who would love to make a blockbuster move for a player of his caliber. But let's pump the brakes just a little. As of right now, Micah Parsons has not officially requested a trade. That's important. Everything we're hearing is based on source reports, insider speculation, and reading between the lines. Still, when you add up all the signs, the contract tension, the playoff frustrations, the locker room noise, and his own subtle social media hints, it's clear that all is not well between Parsons and the Cowboys. And in today's NFL, situations like this tend to escalate quickly. If you're the Cowboys front office, you've got to be sweating. Losing Micah Parsons would be a catastrophic blow, both on and off the field. He's the face of the defense, a generational talent, and one of the few true difference makers in the league. Trading him away, or even letting the rumors fester, sends a terrible message to the rest of the locker room. It tells your players that even the biggest stars aren't safe. It creates instability, distraction, and worst of all, it fractures the identity of the team. The Cowboys simply cannot afford to mishandle this situation. So what's next? Well, all eyes will be on Jerry Jones. This is where he earns his billions. He's got to make a decision, and soon. Does he open up the vault and give Parsons the deal he deserves right now? Does he bring him in for a heart-to-heart and smooth over the rift? Or does he gamble that Parsons will cool down and refocus once the regular season begins? One thing's for sure, doing nothing is not an option. The Cowboys have waited too long in the past with guys like DeMarcus Lawrence, Ezekiel Elliott, and even Dak. Sometimes it worked out, but sometimes it didn't. This time, the stakes are even higher. There's also a broader question at play here. What does this say about the Cowboys as an organization? Time and time again, we've seen elite talent get frustrated with the lack of postseason success. From Dez Bryant to Amari Cooper to even Randy Gregory, players have left Dallas feeling like their best years were wasted. Is this just another example of the franchise not being able to get out of its own way? Or is it simply the reality of being a big market team with big egos and bigger expectations? Either way, this situation with Parsons has put the Cowboys under the microscope like never before. As training camp continues and the regular season draws near, this story is going to dominate the headlines. Every press conference, every snap in practice, every social media post from Parsons will be dissected and debated. Fans are already divided. Some are urging the team to pay the man, while others worry that he's becoming a distraction. But one thing unites everyone, the hope that somehow, someway, this gets resolved without losing one of the most electrifying players to ever wear the star. And if things do take a turn for the worse, if Parsons actually does pull the trigger and demand a trade, it will send shockwaves across the league. We could be looking at one of the biggest NFL storylines of the decade. Teams will line up with monster offers, and the Cowboys will have a decision that defines their franchise for years to come. This isn't just about football, it's about identity, leadership, and the future of America's team. So what do you think, Cowboys Nation? Is Micah Parsons really on the verge of walking away? Or is this just part of the negotiation dance that elite players use to get their bag? Are the Cowboys mishandling yet another superstar? Or is this all media hype? Let us know in the comments below, because this conversation is only just getting started. Thanks for tuning in, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a major Cowboys update. We've got eyes and ears everywhere, and we'll be bringing you every twist and turn in this developing story. Until next time, stay strong, Cowboys Nation. Let's hope cooler heads prevail, and we see 11 flying around the field in silver and blue this season.